愛し愛し合うのさもっと激しい乾きに来るそう目を閉じて罪深き口づけ
Hello everyone, John157 here with another video. Sorry for it's been a long time. I'm thinking of doing something different. I'm thinking of doing an analysis on the anime called Shiki. Shiki is one of a very difficult psychological anime to understand. It has multiple perspectives and some people actually chose sides for different people. Now, if you haven't seen the anime, I recommend you see it. It is a very good psychological anime, and it actually plays with your morality a little. Okay? You're gonna see it now? You certain you're not just seeing a video and just seeing and listening to all the spoilers I'm about to tell you? You know? Good. Well, if you did, then anyway, Shiki. I've watched the anime, I think, a couple of months ago, and I've just re-watched it a couple of weeks ago as well. And the anime is actually is a good anime. And this video is going to be an analysis on the morality and who is actually the bad guy. Now in Shiki, there isn't really a bad guy. There's actually just who you decide is the bad guy. You can decide that the Shiki are the bad people for killing humans and actually just drinking their blood for no particular means. Or you can say the villagers are the bad people who actually demoralize themselves to their level. Now, for me, in my opinion, I think both are as bad as each other. The Shiki have indulged too much in their drinking habit and just basically killed everyone. And they did, for my opinion, I think the Shiki would have done is they could have just drink a little bit of blood from a victim, then moved on to another one, instead of sticking to the same victim and bleeding them dry. And also, if you don't remember, there was an episode in the anime that Yuki was running away from his best friend, and he said, why can't we coexist? And his friend just replied, they can't. They simply cannot exist. So that displays the argument of people saying, hey, they can just coexist with each other. They cannot, because one, they'll just drain people's blood anyway, and two, it'll be probably very hard to cope with another type of people in a village. Now, again, later in the anime, the villagers band together and fight against the vampires. Now, this is where another people's argument come in for the Shiki. They say, oh, the humans are being merciless towards the vampires, not vampires, Shiki. I don't know why I'm calling them vampires. Actually, what I find clever in the series, they actually just name them Shiki. They never mention the term vampire once in the series, which I find it quite clever, which they actually wanted to nail the name down as well as make it subtle as possible. Anyway, the Shiki are being hunted down by the villagers, and people are saying, oh, the villagers are the evil ones. They're not. If you actually look down and deep into it, it's actually just the Charles Darwin analysis, really. It's just like, Charles Darwin once said that it's survival of the...
It's no use. I need to cut off the blood flow by taking off her head, or severing the connection between the aorta and the vena cava. If this doesn't work, nothing will.
year I believed I was long since past even thinking about that stage of my life.
Tsurumi! No, stop it, please! Shimizu.
私こいつ嫌いなの。だって私よりゆうきくんと仲良しだから。ね、辰巳さん。だから。
やめろ。やめろ。やめろ。
That if one animal is being hunted down by the other one, and they can defend themselves, they will defend themselves. They will fight to the bitter end, and that's what I think happened. Once the Shiki are known to other people, and they know how to defend themselves, their survival instincts kick in, and once that happens, survival, the threat of surviving, it changes people morally, and mentally as well. Morally and mentally, they change people. Because if you basically have to fight to survive, you'll do anything to get it. That's what's so clever about the anime, because it teaches you basic Charles Darwin law. It's the survival of the fittest. If you want to fight for survival, you have to take that chance, and that's what the village has done. They saw the moment of surviving the Shiki, and they took it. Now, another argument of people saying is that the humans were merciless. Now, I can't blame them for that. The inhumane death of the Shiki, where they are tied down and basically basking in the sunlight and burning, that was a bit inhumane. But you can't really blame them since they basically lost family members to the Shiki, and I think it was their way of vengeance in a way, in my opinion. And I know this might sound a bit dark for some people, but Shiki is a dark anime, and it shouldn't be taken lightly. It isn't all. There is a lot of death in Shiki. I mean, once an episode, someone dies. I mean, like one episode, one person dies. I think there was around, and it was a village full of 1,300 people, and only around like. I think around 200 survived, so, no, not 200, because there'll be like 1,000, I think around like 900 to 1,000, I think. No, it wouldn't be like that, I think. Was there that many? I mean, I can't remember, I need to like search it up. I need to remember how many people survived it. I think it was less than that, I think it was like 1,200, 1,100, depending on the situation. They didn't really give us a clear number of who survived and who died, but at least we have that. We can have estimates. And another thing for the human side to basically that the human side weren't the villains, is again, it's just all about survival. And plus, if they were put, you just need to imagine if you were put in that situation, if you knew that there was a threat, there were Shiki coming to basically drink your blood and raise you, and the probability of rising up, I think it was around 50-50. I think it was around 50-50 chance if you rise up from the dead, or I think it was either 50-50 or a third. I can't really remember. They didn't really put any specifics in it. I've only seen the anime just a couple of weeks ago, as well as last time, and I can't remember a few of the names. Again, rising up is a 50-50 chance, or a third of the people actually come back up. So there are actually more dead than pretty much Shiki. And also another thing to put the human side back up is just about being in that situation. What would you do in that situation? Would you do everything you can to survive, or just run? And another thing to make Shiki, you know, that they weren't villains, they can't help it. They knew what they had to do. They can't help, like, control themselves. It's not like they can just, like, stop drinking blood. They need to do it in order to survive, and which again goes into Charles Darwin's theory of, not theory, of proof that is fight for survival. The fittest will survive, and plus, another thing in the anime, when the Shiki knew they were being hunted, that's when they realised what they'd done. They took too much, they bit off more than they can chew, and they suffered for it. And same with the humans. They knew that they were doing too much, so practically they became monsters to fight them. You need to become a monster to fight a monster, if that is the philosophy that they needed to do. They need to demoralize themselves to kill the Shiki, which is practically what the anime is trying to portray. Like when they were singing. Now another thing about the anime is that when the humans were attacking, they slowly became they slowly demoralized themselves, and that's what makes it such a good anime.
You don't have to do that.
Both sides are not as good as each other. One side is fighting for survival, the other side is fighting for survival. And when two people are fighting for survival, and they're in the same, area, they will do anything to survive, regardless of what their morals are or what their personalities are. And that's what I think what Shiki is just about. It's about fighting for survival and basically trying to find something you don't understand. And I don't think I just think the villagers are in the good. They are not far in the good at all. They had to demoralize themselves. They were merciless towards the Shiki. They became monsters in order to fight the Shiki, pretty much. That's what I think anyway. And as for the main characters, the only people who actually were rational was Yuki and the only person I think was rational was Yuki and the other what was the other kids they hang out with? I can't remember their names, but they were the only people who were actually rational. Yuki actually knew that it was wrong, but he knew that they can't survive. He even said that to his friend when he was getting turned into one, that can they just coexist, and his friend just said no, they can't, because they can't stop. They can't stop drinking blood. And he even said that can they just like get a little drink a day and then move on to the next victim, then move on to the next victim. And his friend said he can't, because they have the urge to kill. They have the urge to kill and drink a victim's blood. Now, this is what makes this anime so good. It turns the cogs in your morality as well as your mental state, because it's like you're thinking like, are these people good? Are these people bad? I don't know. I need to think, because it makes you think of your morals and as a whole. The anime is pretty much just like a moral thing. It's hard to explain since that's what this anime is. It's hard to explain since it is hard. It is easy to explain. I mean, like the premise of it and stuff. I mean, like the moral of the anime. It's hard to explain because it is sometimes easy to explain. Like, for example, it's just that it's complicated, but it's the good type of complicated. It's the complicated that lets you think. Because in most films and most animes, they just they just explain everything to you at the end. With Shiki, it's completely different. They allow you to think. They allow you to have different interpretations. Some people think that the Shiki were victimized. The Shiki deserved better than that. But on the other side, you have that the Shiki were monsters, villains, deserved to die. But if you look at the middle ground, that both humans and Shiki were the monsters in this anime, you actually get to see a bigger picture. So, and I don't disagree with people. Everyone is entitled to their own interpretations of the anime. But I'm just saying, I'm just giving you like a little extra picture of what the anime might be about. Because, again, Shiki is a very, very complicated anime to understand moral-wise. It is a great anime if you want to watch it and have a sort of think on the philosophy of morals. Because on one hand you have Shiki who have to kill, have to drink blood, and have to basically survive. And on the other hand, you have the villagers who know that someone is after them, know that they're gonna die if they don't do something about it, and know that their family have been killed by these creatures. So it's practically a no side is better than the other type of anime. And I think I just answered my own question when I said I didn't understand morals, but it's sort of open to interpretation. My interpretation of this anime is that no side is better than the other, regardless of what they did, and regardless of what might have been if they continued. If the Shiki did continue, then I think they wouldn't be able to continue, since the humans would have at least thought something was going on and knew that something had to be done about it. But again, it's both sides done not as good as the other. The Shiki overindulged and been a little piggish and attacked humans for no particular reason, and just, I mean, like, some Shiki only attacked when they needed to. Some Shiki, like Megami, and the other people like her, only attack people they hate, or just out of pure spite, which is not a good way to attack if you want to keep in secret. The humans are not as good either. They tied down the Shiki and let them burn in sunlight, and they didn't do anything about it. There are good people on one side and good people on the other, but majority of the people on both sides are equally bad. And there are a lot of hypocrisy on the Shiki and the human side. So, that was a long talk. At the end of my analysis of this anime, it makes you think of morals of humans and the Shiki in the anime as well. It makes you think of morals. It makes you think what type of morals would you have in that particular situation? What would you do if you were put in that situation? Would you fight the ongoing threat, or would you try and reason with them? Now, again, I recommend this anime to anyone who wants to watch it, even though I pretty much spoiled the plot for you. I would still give it a watch. And if you ever want to comment down on what anime I should like analyze next, please let me know. And that's it for now. And I hope you enjoyed the video analysis. This is my first type of deal, this type of thing, and I hope you all like it. See you guys in the next video. John357 signing out.